This NASCAR Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi. Promo code SGPN.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Woo! Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money gray with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Quarantine Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? How you feeling?
If I went wide on myself, you might think I was hanging out with Japan, the Far East here. Look at it. Look at this backdrop.
Yes, nice. What are you, live from a sushi restaurant? What's going on over
Yeah,
there?
or my wife's office. Same thing. Korean sushi, I guess. But yeah, no, it's quarantined. Although I'm feeling better, I did read that I should stand up while doing the episode today. Keep the blood flowing. So I'm standing up, and hopefully no one zooms in on my eyes because they look extremely. I don't know, like 28. They just put out a 28 days later sequel to the sequel, so I look like I'm in that movie.
You got the Aaron Rodgers eyes. Well, Kramer, we're going to be talking NASCAR here in just a second, but we have to start off with the congratulations to Todd Monken on getting the Cleveland Browns head coaching job. I was told, don't take that bet. You're crazy, Sean. And then I woke up to the amazing news that Todd Monken has been named the Browns head coach. Cashed a nice play for us. Or for me, sorry.
I'm hoping Adi, the clip guy, does pull out the part where you say someone has to take a long shot.
Yeah.
With the Todd Monken handicap. But yeah, it sounds like everyone was pretty surprised, including the Browns, who it sounds like they had been forcing Jim Schwartz on every candidate. Todd Monken was the only one to say, sure, whatever. They hired Todd Monken, which the beat was very surprised by. And then Jim Schwartz throws a fit, storms out of the building. And so Browns continue to be a shit show.
Yeah, nailed the Monken to Cleveland. And CJ also cashed on Joe Brady, next head coach in Buffalo. So racking up cashes left and right over on Kalshi.
I will say everything is puzzling to me right now. And then I also see that because we did a whole handicap on Jim Leonard and why he wouldn't be leaving Denver potentially because Vance Joseph might be getting a job. And then he accepts the Buffalo defensive coordinator job just for me to see he's interviewing for more jobs now. This has been the craziest coach cycle I can remember. I can't remember a time when people are agreeing to coordinator contracts just to continue to interview for other coordinator and coach contracts.
That does seem like a new thing, but go back and check it out. The episode, there's still a couple coaches we have plays on that have not announced their coaches yet. Fun episode there with CJ. All right, Kramer, enough messing around. Let's talk a little NASCAR. And joining us from the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, Cody Sassy Zeeb. What's happening, Cody? Has Sassy stuck as your nickname?
I guess so, because here we are.
Well, in all fairness, I had forgotten. I go, someone came up with a nickname for Cody. I forget what it was. It wasn't Zesty, but it kind of reminded me of that. So how we doing, Cody? You're rocking your Patriots hat. First off, congrats. I know you had the Pats to win the AFC at a nice price. How you feeling going into the big game here?
Yeah, well, man, life couldn't be much better right now. I got the Patriots in the Super Bowl, cashed a 40-1 on the AFC, got an 80-1 writing on the Super Bowl from preseason. So excited about that. The Husker basketball team is good.
Nebraska basketball.
I don't even know what to do with my hands. We've never been good at basketball before, but here we are. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. NASCAR's back. I mean, life is just great right now.
Yes, and someone in the chat saying facial hair well represented here. Yes, I'm the beginning, Ryan's the middle, and Cody's the end. Cody,
let me move myself back to the
yeah.
There we go. You got the progression. I got to rock the playoff beard. It's been working so far. So.
Yeah, nice beard there you growing out there. Yeah, you're
Also, not to interrupt, Sean, but that's also the sign of someone who is married. Like we know Cody's a married man with that beard.
or he's a lumberjack and gone for like 4 months at a time or something. Yeah, you're the rare cross section of Nebraska basketball fans and New England Patriots football fans. So you're really like a pig in shit here. And of course, I saw you already have some articles up over on sportsgamblingpodcast.com, giving out a bunch of prop bets there. So get those while the getting is good.
Yeah, I got the 60 bets for Super Bowl 60s up already. So
now we're obviously gonna stick to NASCAR here, but what's one of your favorite? I assume they're mostly pro New England props, but give us a weird prop and your favorite prop.
yeah, I mean, shockingly, I am on the Patriots to win. I'll take the money line, everything. Favorite prop, I would say Drake May over 36.5 rushing yards. If the Patriots are going to be in it, if they're going to win it, he's going to have to run. I'm playing the latter, 120 plus, 38 to 1. So I will definitely take that. I guess if you're looking for something more out of the box, Henderson, MVP, 75 to 1.
Okay.
Because obviously, likely if they win, it's going to be May. But Henderson has a couple of big plays, which he's very much a big play guy. 75 to 1. I like it.
I was going to say, if I was a Pats fan, I would be talking myself into some Hunter Henry angles. I saw him as MVP. You usually have to get 2 touchdowns, which you look at the Seahawks struggles against the tight end. His MVP price, and I was like, you know what? I'll compare 2 touchdowns to MVP. His 2 touchdown price is 18 to 1. His MVP price is 110 to 1. So and
the only problem with that is then May gets the touchdown passes too. That's where it could take away.
You have to win as a pass catcher. I think you have to at least get 2 touchdowns and a bunch of yards, and then it would probably be a low scoring game otherwise. But I think there could be a game script.
Certainly a pass. Yeah.
I do like Hunter Henry, but Kramer.
I was just gonna say, if you study the times when positional players win it, it's a low scoring game.
Yeah,
and so which begs the question with the shoulder stuff with Drake May. If the Pats win, is it not gonna? It's either gonna be I like the running back angle. Is it not going to be a defensive player because Sam Darnold's thrown 2 pick sixes, or he's had to me that's
Milton Williams.
Seems like a more not even. I feel like it would be someone like give me your favorite
Christian
defensive
Gonzalez.
back or
it's Christian Gonzalez, and I got him 55 to 1 anytime touchdown because he's gonna be guarding JSN. Darnold is going to force the ball to JSN, and Gonzo is he gave up 1 big play in the Denver game, but outside of that, he's been a great defensive back. You'd have a higher passer rating spiking the ball in the playoffs every play than throwing the ball to Christian Gonzalez.
Well, that was essentially the Patriots' offense last game. They may well have just been spiking the ball.
That's a very pertinent point.
Wins
you bring
a win.
that up because that also, I believe, Shedeur Sanders would have had a better passer rating in 2 of his games.
Pro Bowler.
If he just spiked the ball every time.
And of course, Todd Monken chose to coach Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders over.
Has there ever been a bigger downgrade at head coach than what the Browns just did?
Oh well, I mean,
that's a pretty big step down.
It's interesting they brought Todd.
It's interesting for so many ways. You have the fact that the Ravens got rid of their coaches, only to have 2 of them get hired as head coaches, 1 in division. And going from Stefanski to I guess we don't know with Todd Monken. I think Southern Miss was his last job, but I guess you were right. At the end of the day, Sean, you said you take an NFL head coaching job if you have the opportunity to take an NFL
100%.
head coaching job. So
100%.
Well, he's like 80, isn't he? So
yeah, why not?
Get it right, Cam.
All right, you and of course our good buddy Hot Rod Avila Gomez, host the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. You can get it on the SGPN feed, the SGPN app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Take us through the season kicking off here, and you guys got some news for your show. 1, you're taking callers, and then 2, you got a contest. So what do we got coming up on the NASCAR Gambling Podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. Expanding the show out, adding an extra episode this year, which is going to be a recap episode. We'll go live after races, recap the race, recap the bets, and like you said, adding the caller like you guys do with the post NFL Sunday night football. You guys have callers come in.
That's
fun. Been some of the best parts of the show this year, right? Is getting the caller reactions, hearing what people hit, hearing what people didn't hit, what they liked about the day, what they didn't like about the day. So we're super, super excited to add that to the lineup. I think, and you got to think too, as Kramer said to us when we had this conversation, think about NASCAR fans and who's going to be calling in. It's going to be an exciting show, even if you don't care that much about the race. Like, tune in and check out the callers.
Well, you got to find someone with a non-Southern accent, in the same way that we have our buddy Malcolm who talks baseball with a British accent. We need to find. There's got to be someone with a British accent that likes NASCAR that found your podcast. So
we have a couple of guys that are checking in all the time from New Zealand, Australia.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
We're gonna get some accents.
Again, anyone with a good day, mate. I really like the Clash of the Clan. Yeah, and NASCAR does feel like something because Australia and New Zealand truly DGen country down there. I think, and they do those crazy races out there in the in the middle of the desert there in Australia. So it seems like right up there.
Yeah, and we've got a full-time Kiwi that's racing in NASCAR. So they have a lot of extra interest. So they'll be tuning in. So we'll definitely I know those guys will be calling in.
Couple things. One, I know through Daniel Ricciardo, who's an Australian F1 driver, NASCAR is huge over there. Two, Sean, Southern accents are British accents. They're just evolved a little bit. We all know that. And three, what I said to Cody and Rod on the call was, I'm picturing a Paul Feinbaum-esque show, legend from Alabama, this guy from Louisiana, just the craziest of the crazies. Because I will say my limited exposure to going to a NASCAR event, it's like a rabid college football situation. But instead, you're at a BYOB situation, where everyone is as drunk as they can be. So yeah, I am very excited to hear what kind of callers, especially hearing Rod try to navigate through some wild ones.
It's gonna be fun.
David in the chat saying, "Are y'all Christopher Bell fans?" That's my dude. Cody, are we Christopher Bell fans?
Yes, we're Christopher Bell fans. I put out my top 30 rankings going into the season of drivers. Bell's number 3, so that's probably the highest of any season you'd have him going in at. Expecting a big year out of Mr. Bell.
Great. Yeah. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk Clash at Bowman. Gray. I kept wanting to say Clash of Clan, but that's that dumb cell phone game. Before we do, real quick shout out to Kalshi. If you're not getting down on Kalshi, you are missing out. You can trade Kalshi, available in all 50 states. So even if you're in a state like Nebraska, maybe you need more options, Kalshi is there for you. New traders get $20 in their account, and they have a ton of fun trading opportunities for the Super Bowl, a bunch of the fun stuff. Get in over there. And, of course, use our code SGPN. T's and C's do apply. Kalshi, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Avo. Again, if you have access to sports books, and you probably do, hence why you're listening to this podcast, Avo is a great tool. Go to avo.bet, promo code SGPN, $18 off your first month, and it is the #1 arbitrage betting tool. It's a great, easy-to-use tool, very clean dashboard. You log in, you sync your sports books, and then they'll fire off alerts. Hey, if you bet $300 over on this sports book at plus 1.5, and $185 over here on this sports book at this other price plus 2.5, whatever it is, you can lock in your profit. So very fun. And again, if you got the time to sync up the books, Avo is a very, very helpful tool. Go to avo.bet, use that promo code SGPN, get started today. That's avo.bet, promo code SGPN. All right.
And you buried the lead, Sean.
What's the lead?
Contest.
Oh yes, I forgot. We have a NASCAR Gambling Podcast contest. Cody, well, what do they got to do and what can they win?
Yeah, super easy contest, like everything on this network. Free to enter, of course. SG.PN/NASCAR contest. Nice and easy. You don't have to know a ton about NASCAR. All you're doing basically is picking a winner. Go look at who's going to be in the race. Pick one driver to win. The fun thing about the Daytona 500, literally anybody in the field can win. On a normal week-to-week basis, there's 10, 15 guys that could truly win the race. But all 41 cars that are going to be in this Daytona 500, they all have a legit shot at winning the race. That's what makes it so exciting. So yeah, jump over there. We got $100 cash to the winner plus a $100 gift card to the merch store. We're giving out a couple of random race officials are terrorists. Our version
Hell
of
yeah.
referees are terrorists shirt, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, join the contest. Like I said, free. You might as well, right? Go get some gift cards, some cash. It's nice.
So, Sean, can I sweeten another pot?
Sure.
Whoever wins this, if they're interested, I'll give them a digital pony.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Of Kentucky Derby winning lineage.
Wow.
So again,
Wow.
you can't get too much
Wow.
sweeter than that.
We're so grateful for this huge opportunity, Kramer. I didn't think we would be getting something.
Now the needle is really moving. All right, we're gonna talk Daytona 500, but before we do, let's talk Clash at the Bowman Gray happening this weekend. What do we like? What's the race? Break it down for us, Cody.
Yeah, so this is exciting. No football this weekend, right? Unless you want to watch Shedeur Sanders play flag football. So yes, thank God we have some racing instead. It's NASCAR's warm-up race. It's an exhibition race, so it doesn't go towards the full season points or anything. But it's a great opportunity to get them out there, get the juices flowing, and it goes back to the roots of NASCAR. This is a track that was on the schedule 75 years ago. It's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dealing with a little bit of weather there, but it's inside of the Winston-Salem's college football team. It's inside of their football stadium.
Oh.
It's a quarter-mile track, so think of your local football field. It's that small of a track. So, yeah, super exciting. But they'll basically have some qualifier stuff to lead up to the main race on Sunday. 23 cars, 200 laps, short track racing. Get your elbows out. It can be a lot of bumping and banging. And this race is a ton of fun, a great way to kick off the season and fill in the gap between, while we're waiting for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl.
I think about as someone who ran track and how, especially in like the middle to longer distance races, like you literally are getting your elbows out to fight over space with humans. It is wild that they're doing. I mean, I remember the Coliseum, Sean. You remember that race? It almost seems impossible to fit this inside of here. But I kind of like it though. It's like I like how they've created this like circusy type open to the season that everyone seems to check in on because there's, like you said, nothing else going on.
Now, Jaws in the chat, similar question as what I was thinking here for Cody, is because this is inside a football stadium. Does that lead it to a bunch of crashes, more action? How does that impact the handicap?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of bumping and banging. These guys are going all out, and it's not a points race. So, I mean, second doesn't matter. You're not racing for points. You're not like the winner. It gets the trophy and the money, and everybody else just goes home. So everybody's going all out for it. It's a ton of fun. And like you said, think about squeezing big, huge stock cars onto a small track like that and then making them race it out. It provides great racing, a lot of beating and banging, the old traditional rubbing is racing, all that stuff. There's a lot.
Rubbing, you ain't racing.
That's right. And you get a lot of that at this race.
And so just to be clear, it is outside though, right? Their stadium is an outdoor arena. Yeah. So I did see that there were some racers there who maybe aren't like Colby and pro outdoor football who are wondering why they're racing in such poor conditions.
Yeah, there is a little bit of racing indoors throughout the wintertime, but it's there's a lot of fumes. It's not necessarily really indoor friendly sport.
I remember that at Monster Truck where it was just like, man, these engines are really opened up. I'm doing the carbon monoxide math.
Don't go to too many of those. I
went to a Monster Truck rally in the arena in Roanoke, Virginia, when I was in college, and we're walking in, and they're like, that was my first thought. Like, it's going to smell like fumes, which at that, not the worst smell. It's kind of a nice smell. Maybe not too much of it, but you walk in and you're immediately accosted by people that are like, do you want to buy the good earplugs or the basic earplugs? And I'm like, do I have to buy earplugs? And they're like, no, but you might want them. And so we're like, whatever, we don't need earplugs. We get into this arena and immediately we sit down and like, okay, let's go get one of those earplugs. So I can see why they don't do it inside.
So now the weather. Obviously,
yes.
Did they have any tolerance for rain? They delay it. What are we looking at? Did they ever play through?
Track was covered in snow. So luckily, over the last few years, NASCAR has developed wet weather tires, so they can't race in the rain necessarily too much, but they can race on wet conditions on shorter tracks. Not a big track like a Daytona, but a track like this certainly. So there is some snow in the forecast this weekend. they're going to do everything they can to get it in. We might get pushed to Monday. We might get pushed to Tuesday, but I'm feeling pretty good about Sunday. Obviously, I'm not a weatherman, but they're going to do their best. They will get it in. I have full confidence in that. But yeah, if they get a little bit of snow, if they can get the snow cleared off the track, they'll be able to race in the wet weather tires, and I don't think that'll be an issue.
Well, I mean, the weatherman had no clue that there was going to be snow in Denver last Sunday.
Well, neither did Sean Payton, apparently.
Yeah.
Although
that was a real football
Cody
game.
loves the decision going for it on fourth, I'm sure.
It was great.
So now, okay, we get the idea. It's going to be a tight track, possibly slick, a lot of crashes. Sounds exciting. Who are you betting on? What's the plays here, Cody?
Yeah, so NASCAR betting, a lot like golf betting, right? You can certainly bet the outright winner, but that's not necessarily where you're always going. So head-to-head matchups is a great place to get in on those. One of them that I really love, you can get Ross Chastain over Tyler Reddick. Reddick was our golden boy from a couple of years ago, Ryan, and we might be on him again this year, but not on him so much this weekend because he doesn't do too well at short tracks. Basically, you line these guys up at the last 10 short tracks against each other. Chastain's won 8 of the last 10, so it's 80% he's hitting over Reddick. Beat him in this race last year, close, but got the better side of him. So I'm going to over Tyler Reddick. You can get that one at -110. So nice, easy bet to jump in on. This is my favorite one that's out there on the board.
Well, I like this too because it's fading the guy, the football-sized bet from last year, Tyler Reddick. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
All right, so that's who you like in the head-to-head. Do you have any top threes, any top fives? What are you playing in that market?
Yeah, so typically on a regular race weekend, top 10s are a huge market for us. Since this is a condensed race, there's only going to be 23 drivers in it. You're not going to get that market in this one. So top 3 is a great market to go to. You can get Ryan Blaney, top 3. If you want to see the mustache of all mustaches, Google Ryan Blaney and his current mustache. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know that I've ever seen a better mustache.
Oh all right, hold on.
That's you pull it up. But that alone is enough of a reason to bet on this man. But he's also really, really good at short tracks. That's what we're looking for. He's got the best average finish over the last 3 years on short tracks. 8.8 is his average finish. 9 top 5s rather in those 18 races. He's led over 700 laps. And last year he had to start at the back of the field, had some issues in qualifying, in the qualifying heats, but started at the back of the field, drove all the way from 23rd to 2nd, was challenging for the win at the end of the day. So he knows how to handle this type of track. I think he's going to show up. I don't have him to win. He is one of the co-favorites to win. I'm not quite going that far, but I think he'll be top 3 like he was last year at the end of the day.
So what? Sorry if I missed it. What's the price there on Blaney top 3?
Yes, plus 170 for the top 3 for him.
Okay, nice, like that. He did. Kramer, are you pulling up his?
Look at that.
That's that thing.
Got the mullet to go with it. That's a man right there.
That is a glorious mustache.
I was gonna say it almost gives me who's the actor who plays the guy in the Big Lebowski, the narrator voice.
Sam
Elliott. It almost gives me like child of Sam Elliott or something like that.
I kind of think he reminds me a little bit of Borat. I don't know. I'm getting.
Yeah,
I got top 3. Nice. Just Kramer, pull up the if you can pull up the cover of the Borat movie. I swear to God, that's a similar mustache. Nice.
It's pretty solid. If you're looking for a long shot top 3, Kyle Busch, a guy that I love for this, plus 750. So you're getting a pretty good number there. Had a bad year. Oh wow.
Look at that.
Look at the resemblance. Oh my goodness. It is the same thing.
Wow, they have the same look.
Yeah. Something about their eyes too. All right, sorry. Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Kyle Busch, top 3. Kyle Busch, top 3, plus 750. You can get this one. So going back to the Coliseum that you mentioned earlier when they raced at the LA Coliseum for 3 years, this is a very similar track. They're both quarter-mile, short, flat track, similar style. Busch actually finished 2nd place exactly in all 3 of those years. Struggled here last year, but he had a bad year overall. They made some changes in the offseason. New crew chief, essentially a new head coach for him, changing some stuff up. He's a great race car driver. I think he's going to bounce back. Plus 750, I think, is great value. Also, he's 40 to 1 outright. I think that it's probably going to be one of the favorites that wins this race. But if you want to take a longer outright, which I love, he's definitely in the mix at 40 to 1.
Now you bring up Kyle Busch. I know this is probably not the kind of race that people will get fighting over, but there are going to be some wrecks. So do we expect there to be any? Because Kyle Busch has some of the all timers, but do we have any anticipation that we'll have a preseason brawl?
Certainly could happen. Kyle Busch is he's not afraid to fight. He's been in a few. He had a classic one I think it was 2 years ago in the All-Star race. He dumped a guy second lap of the race. The guy stood in the infield the rest of the race and waited for him and just had he was leaning up against his hauler with his arms crossed, just waiting for Kyle to come over there. And they went after it. It was great. So we could certainly see something like that in this type of race.
That would have been a taunting foul in the NFL.
Yeah. What happened? Do they suspend these guys for fighting, or is it like a fine?
It's usually a fine. They'll slap them on the wrist and have a fine, but they love it. Like then they'll fine them, and then NASCAR will turn around and you'll see nothing but that clip for the next 5 years because they love the fights. I mean, it's great. So it's one of those things where it's like, the local racetrack promoters always say, don't be fighting on my racetrack. But if you're going to fight, do it on the front stretch in front of the crowd because we want everybody to see it, right? So don't do it. But if you do, we'll take the social clips.
We'll tag you on social media. All right. So you said maybe Busch sprinkle outright at 40 to 1. Any other long shot outrights?
Yeah, that's it for long shot outrights. Just shorter outrights. Kyle Larson at 8 to 1. Kramer, best race car driver in the world. We've had this conversation before. 8 to 1. The disrespect on him. He's the defending champion too. Something Max Verstappen couldn't do last year. But defending champion, and he's just getting clearly disrespected. We don't generally see 8 to 1s on him. And I gave all those stats about Ryan Blaney earlier and how good he is on short tracks. 8.8 average finish. Larson's is 8.9, but he's got more wins. He's got more top fives. He's got more top tens. Blaney's led 717 laps in those 18 races. Kyle Larson's led 1,442, twice as much. When he gets going, he's dominant in these types of races. Had some issues last year. I'm tossing that out. I'm not worried about it. Kyle Larson, 8 to 1, I think is a great deal at the top of the board.
Not to get too deep into it, not a Max Verstappen fan, but some might argue that him not winning the championship in a clearly deficient car last year, but competing like he did against the McLaren boys was more impressive. But now that it's a McLaren man, I'd like to see it. Let's see Lando versus Kyle Larson. They're two friendly characters.
He's got the McLaren connections.
Let's get an exhibition going.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be wild if McLaren is the thing that bridges all these types of racing.
It would be great.
Now, Rod, checking in on the chat. Good to hear from Rod. No Carson Hocevar, Cody.
Hocevar? Yeah, so the guy on the clip art at the beginning of the thumbnail. Yep. Jake asked me who he wanted. We had to put Carson Hocevar. He's my guy this year. He's just like, you could go look at the art on the show. He's just a personality. It's great. Yeah. He went on Facebook Marketplace, bought a street legal Dale Earnhardt truck, and he drives it around. He'll drive like these close races, like probably this weekend at the Clash. He'll drive that truck to the racetrack. That's
awesome. All right. So any other we got to ask, odd or even, Cody? Is there that's my favorite NASCAR bet. Odd or even.
This is great, right? And this is Rod's specialty. So I'm going to pull one from, he gave this out on the show earlier. He likes the even number, plus 105. This is the bet that keeps you in the race until the end, right? Yeah, exactly. You get all the even numbered cars. So there's going to be somebody battling for the win at the end of the day. Ryan Blaney, who I mentioned earlier, even numbered car. Kyle Busch, even numbered car. It gives you action. Say you bet on Kyle Larson, he goes out, has a problem, gets in a wreck. Your bet's cooked, it's done. If you got an even number bet, you got a car in it till the end, and that's what makes betting on racing so much fun. Is you can do bets like that. It's great.
Sean, do you remember when we were first introduced to the odd even bet?
I think it was when we were doing the Sims days. That's the first time I remember when we were locked down in COVID and we were simulating Madden or college basketball, and the odd or even final score was one of the more popular.
That was definitely the first.
Really degenerate.
That was when we really adopted it in terms of betting on it every game, because in the beginning of the Sims there weren't a lot of options to bet on, and that was one of them. But actually, give a shout out to the South Point. They used to offer the odd even jersey
For the Super Bowl.
MVP and jersey first touchdown scores way back in the day. So yeah, I mean,
Well, they're very much NASCAR tied. Actually, Brendan Gaughan, who's the son of the owner, raced in NASCAR for a long time with the South Point sponsorship and stuff. He's retired now, but yeah, they're very tied in. So likely NASCAR possibly is what led to that.
Nice.
Makes sense there. And of course, as always,
you know I'm a degenerate.
All right. Quick shout out, and then we'll talk Daytona. Of course, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Of course, Underdog Fantasy. You can get, I know Rod and Cody hook you up with some Underdog entries. And of course, over on Underdog Fantasy, you can play $5, get $75 in bonus funds. They literally have it all. Sides, totals. They've offered culture markets. There's so much action over on Underdog. If you don't have an Underdog account, a great time to hop in. Plenty of ways to win. Get over there, Underdog Fantasy. Use our promo code SGPN so you get that sweet deposit bonus. Play $5, get $75. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna bet you picks, props, sides, total. Rhythm has it all. They got you covered. Great tool here for college hoops as that's heating up. NBA, so much, and it's very easy. You can build your own model, or you can just tail whatever Rhythm's up to. Love Rhythm, very helpful tool. Let's see if you're watching live. We will give out. Let's see here, Al Horford. Center for the Golden State Warriors, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And of course, that's what Rhythm likes, but you can build your own models or just tail theirs. Download Rhythm today. RITHMM, 25% off premium when you use our promo code SGPN25. That's RITHMM. All right, Cody, time for the big one. The Super Bowl of NASCAR, Daytona 500. For new people, paint us a little history, paint us a picture. What do we got? And explain the race a little bit.
Yeah, Daytona 500. It is our Super Bowl. We do it backwards. We kick off the season with the biggest race of the year, but it's always an event. This is the one. This is the one where you've had drivers say they would rather have a Daytona 500 trophy than a championship. I don't believe them because championships always should rule. But but Daytona 500, it's a big thing. Guys like Dale Earnhardt, it took him forever. He had won 7 championships, one of the greatest of all time. But towards the end of his career, he finally got that Daytona 500 trophy. So this is the one that everybody's after. And the fun thing about the style of racing, so, on a clash race this weekend or some of the more traditional tracks as you get into the series, there's clear better cars where the cars are better, the equipment's better, the driver's better. A track like Daytona is so big, they've essentially had to put restrictor plates on the cars because if they didn't, the cars were beginning to get off the ground, right? And getting more dangerous. And so that has brought in the element of the draft, whereas, you get close to the car behind them and it makes the draft that actually pushes the cars to go faster. So it keeps the cars bunched up, which makes for fun, exciting racing throughout the day. But it also takes the worst cars in the field and makes them just as good as the best cars in the field, meaning that really, truly, any given person of the 41 cars that are in the race can go out and win. And we've oftentimes seen upsets, young drivers, rookies, guys coming in on some of their first starts, go out and win this big race, even though they didn't amount to anything in the rest of their career because of that chaos and that factor that's into it. So it can make it difficult for betting because it is chaotic. And sometimes you feel good about something. You have to kind of look at this race as you're going to lose everything. But also, on the other hand, the part that I love, any bet is in play. Whatever you want to play, no matter the number, it's all in play. You can play it. This is where you can hit the big, fun, exciting bets. We had one a couple of years ago on this style of track in Atlanta, 250 to 1. The guy was leading with 2 laps to go.
Oh.
He got stuffed into the wall. Unfortunately, didn't win, but the sweat was there. That's what I'm looking for. So
yeah, well,
and Sean, you remember we were market movers out at Circa.
This is great.
With I believe I want to say it was a 400 to 1 that moved down to 100 to 1 or something like that.
Because we put like $25 on it. Like, all right, we're not gonna pay out $10K. So all right, couple quick questions. Do you recall off the top of your head in recent memory who was kind of like the biggest long shot to win at Daytona?
So I think it was 2021. Michael McDowell won. He was probably somewhere in the range of 75 to 1 or so. So that was definitely a big one. 2022 actually had back-to-back years there where we had Austin Cindric. It was, I think, his 6th career start. He was a rookie. This was going to be his first full-time season. He comes in and wins it. He, I think, was in the 55 to 60 range, somewhere in there. So those have been recent examples of some really big ones.
Yeah, he held off Bubba Wallace. It was his 8th start, and before that, McDowell. That was his first Cup win. Yeah,
first Cup win, and it was like his 500 and something or 400 something starts. Like he's been around a long time, veteran of the sport, just never in a good enough car, not good enough driver to win, and found himself in the right position in the right situation, and that's why literally anybody in the field can win these races.
All right, well, let's talk about it. The Daytona 500 coming up here in a couple of weeks. Obviously takes place in Daytona. 500 laps, last I checked.
500 miles.
500 miles.
Like
okay, I even messed
laps.
that up.
It was a good guess, Sean.
Oh, come on. 500 laps.
500 means something. 500 laps would be great, but might not be any cars left at that point.
All right. What do we top 5, top 10? Let's start there. Who are we looking in these in the top 5, top 10 market?
Yeah, top 5 bet I love. AJ Allmendinger, top 5. He's generally known as a road course racer, but really good at this type of race, really good at protecting his car, getting there to the end. Engine expired early in the race last year, so unfortunately a horrible finish. But prior to that, 4 top 6 finishes in a row in the Daytona 500. He always, engines expire, you get caught up in wrecks, stuff like that happens. But he's very good, and the advantage you can find, it is a crapshoot, and you can say, oh, just bet on anybody, doesn't matter. Yes, but also there are guys who are better at it than other guys at navigating the draft, working with other people, and protecting themselves, right? There's certain guys, like Kyle Larson, who I just told you I think is one of the greatest race car drivers. He's not very good at avoiding the wrecks and keeping himself out of trouble. A lot of times he doesn't finish the races. A guy like AJ Allmendinger, very good at that, finds himself in the mix. 11-1 for his top 5 number. I think that's a great one for a guy that did it, finished top 6 at least 4 times in a row prior to last year's engine letting loose early.
Sean, from Santa Clara, California, awesome nickname, the Dinger.
The Dinger.
Right.
Somehow it kind of reminds me like a Brian Baldinger, but of NASCAR. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm in. Great
Dinger.
racing name. I'm sure Madden would approve.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
I like that. So you're playing on a guy who has a history of finishing these type of races and a pretty good racer. So already you're putting yourself in a decent spot.
Also non-traditional. He got his start with BMX biking, so not even one of these.
He's had so when Red Bull was previously, they owned NASCAR cars. He was a Red Bull guy, very much like a road course ringer type guy. He's actually was in IndyCar for a little while, so he came over from the open wheel side of things. He's the all-time road course wins leader in the O'Reilly series, which is like the next step down from the Cup series. Rod is a huge Allmendinger fan. As he checks
Rod loves the Dinger.
He does love the Dinger, but he's really so people always associate him with road courses. That's where you kind of bet him. That's what you think of him as. But he's actually very, very good on this style of track at navigating. He's been around a long time, a veteran. I think that helps these guys because he's been through so many of these races, gotten to the end so many times.
Love it. Okay, so we got him top 5, 11-1. What else are we putting on the card here? Top 5, top 10.
Yeah, our cover guy, Carson Hocevar. This is my guy this year. He's my guy. So top 10, you can get him at 2-1. They don't give us top 10 odds like they used to. They've started to figure this out. But 2-1 still a decent number for a guy like Hocevar. He's been top 10 in 4 of the last 6 drafting track super speedway style of races. So he's become very good, even though he's a younger guy and newer to the sport, become very good at navigating. Actually should have won a drafting track race last year, but, bad timed caution at the end of the deal cost him, unfortunately. He's had some tough luck in the last couple of Daytona 500s, but he's also like one of those fiery young guys, like just antsy to get out there. I think that he's now matured maybe a little bit, got to that point where he can calm down, settle down, get settled into this race. I expect him to have a good day. He's the guy. So, in football, we do ladders, right? We climb the ladder, the rushing ladder with May I mentioned earlier. He's the car lift guy for us. That's our version of the ladder. I'm going to take him top 10, top 5, top 3, win the race. We don't have top Chevy bets out yet, but you can bet that. I'll be betting that. Rod hates Carson Hocevar, which makes it even more fun. So we have a lot of fun on the show with that. But Carson Hocevar, he's my dude. Love this kid. Also, I parlayed him with the Patriots to win the Super Bowl before the playoffs started.
Wow.
And
what does that look like?
I put $10 on it, and it pays out $3,500. So
there
Nice.
you go.
And Cody,
decent.
I'm seeing that he's 6'4". That's
Yeah.
quite abnormal for a racer.
Yes, race car drivers generally not that tall. Austin Cindric recently won, as we talked about, 2022.
Well,
He's also a taller guy.
maybe Diego Pavia if the NFL doesn't work out. I know
He'd come over to NASCAR.
He clocked. I mean, Diego Pavia in NASCAR, they would love his attitude.
We do. Malcolm in the middle, Frankie Muniz. He's a full-time truck driver. So
shout out to
we'll take the superstars over
there. Frankie Muniz, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he like actually did the minor league stuff and like.
He's still doing the truck series. So it's the Cup Series is top of the top rung, and then it's O'Reilly and trucks. And on the NASCAR Gambling Podcast, we talk about all those. Actually, trucks and O'Reilly, we have an advantage, I think, over the books that does really well for us. But yeah, Muniz is racing full time over there. He's actually, I guess, I don't know if it's a fun fact, but a fact. One of the last people who talked to Dale Earnhardt. He was a child at the race before Dale got in the car in 2001, which has been 25 years this year. And knock on wood, the last death we've had in NASCAR at the top 3 levels was Dale in 2001. But Frankie was one of the last people to talk to him before he got in the car. They took the picture. Dale got in the car and then obviously had the wreck that day. But crazy.
That's wild. One other thing to note, Sean, when we're out at the Circa, Hocevar is a Michigan guy, so worth noting to the
Derek, owner.
Yes.
I mean, that would be great if Hocevar wins the Daytona 500. Tell him we got to get him out at the Circa, hanging out. I'm sure Derek would love that. All right, so that's so we got Hocevar. We're laddering him. Top 10, top 5 outright. We got Allmendinger, 11-1, top 5. Any other top 5, top 10s jumping at you here, Cody?
Yeah, winning car number is another one you can hit in this.
Oh, yeah.
Even more fun in this because you, like, last couple of laps, you'll have 8-10 different guys that lead the race. It'll be back and forth. You won't know until they get to the line which one wins. It's oftentimes super close finish and stuff like that. So you're going to have somebody in the mix. You can get over 22.5. So any car number 23 or up, including Carson Hocevar, who's number 77, including 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson, who's 84. William Byron, who's actually won the last 2 in a row. 3 in a row is very hard to do, but maybe he could do it. You get guys like Bubba Wallace. You get guys like Tyler Reddick. My guy, Corey LaJoie, who also actually I have, this is maybe weird, but I have a picture that I keep right here of Corey LaJoie. Look at the hair. Look at the beard. I mean,
look at this.
It's beautiful. So,
I feel like we need to pull out do a clip where it's just Cody showing us the picture over the years.
I believe I've rocked that a few times, but so all these guys are included. But
I
anyway.
got my wife and kids, and of course Corey LaJoie right here.
There's another picture in the bedroom. It's framed. It's fine.
Cody, I understand. It's like my Kyle Juszczyk helmet.
Oh,
it's
God.
always an arm's reach away.
And this is the guy. Corey is the guy who I had 250-1, leading with 2 laps to go. Almost got it done, but he's cashed. And that's why I love him so much. Is he's cashed a car lift so many times over the years. He's made me a ton of money betting him on super speedways. So I really do love the guy. And unfortunately, he's not that great outside of super speedways. So he's kind of on a part-time basis now, but they're bringing him in for these good races. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, you can get over 22.5 winning car number at plus 175.
Woo.
Again, just as a casual person that's out there wants to have a little action on the Super Bowl, basically, right? This is a great way. You're going to have somebody in the mix all the way until the end of the race. It's a great fun way to get in on it. Almost 2-1. You're getting a good number of guys over that number that could win this race.
Now, Cody, do they have the head-to-heads out yet for Daytona?
Yep, you do get the head-to-heads. So top advice would be if you start to see head-to-heads pop up where one guy is plus money, you almost always just want to take that because there is so much that goes into it, and it's a lot of times kind of tricky to pick a head-to-head over a certain guy just at the same level of money. We don't have any plus monies out there yet, but we'll get them as we get closer to the race. That would be my top advice for that. But I do like one. You can get Ty Gibbs minus 115 over Connor Zilic. Ty Gibbs has been really solid on super speedways. Top 17 in 5 of the last 6. Top 17 doesn't sound that impressive, but the point of taking a guy in a head-to-head is if you're finishing 17th, you're probably getting to the end of the race, right? And so that's what I want. And anybody that's on a super speedway is get me to the end of the race, because that's 3/4 of the battle, if not more, is just getting to the end and still being alive, not being caught up in all the chaos, the big wrecks, right? You see the big wrecks they advertise in the commercials, stuff like that. That's a lot of times what wipes out your bets. So Gibbs has been very good about that. Zilich, on the other hand, he is the next guy, right? Like, this guy is a next level prospect. He is going to come in. He's going to be a 10-time champion. He's going to win all these races. And I believe he's going to be great. But going from college football to the NFL is not always easy. And this is his first year stepping up. He's run a couple of Cup Series races, but it's going to be an adjustment period, I think, for him. And so I think that it's a great opportunity to get somebody that's settled in, knows what he's doing, consistently delivers good finishes over the young hot gun. Everybody's, we got to get on him, but doesn't have as much experience. So Ty Gibbs over Connor Zilich. You can find that one at -115.
Kramer, can you look up I looked up a photo of Ty Gibbs. This kid, I mean, he looks incredibly young.
He does. This is Joe Gibbs'
Kramer, he
grandson,
looks like 9 years old. I would not trust this. He looks like someone your daughters would hang out with. Honestly,
This is
he's the seasoned veteran. This is crazy. No,
I kind of was already ready for this request, but I mean, he's also a football guy, right? Comes from a football family.
Yeah, so Joe Gibbs' grandson, obviously the Redskins head coach for years, right? He owns a team that has 4 cars in the field. Ty is one of those. Ty, actually a great race car driver. He's struggled a bit with the change to the Cup Series, but this, I think, is his 3rd or 4th full-time season. So he's getting settled in, certainly more.
Look at that. Come on.
Yeah.
How old is he?
This is a couple of years ago, so he's a little.
He just looks so incredibly young.
He probably, so this is Xfinity Series. He probably was 18 here.
Oh my God.
He actually his very first career start, I bet on him to win a road course at 55-1, and he went out and kicked everybody's ass, won. So I've become a lifelong fan. Another guy that Rod and I disagree on quite often.
Oh, he's not a Ty Gibbs guy.
No,
Now, what?
Here's an updated photo.
Okay, still looks incredibly young.
He does look very young. Yes,
he's got that baby face. Now, when you say I like this guy, Rod doesn't like this guy. Like, what attracts you to a certain driver? Like, is it the style, the swagger? Obviously, winning money helps, right?
Yes, it's a couple things. I think the reason Rod doesn't like them is because I like them so much. So that might play into it. Yes. But with the Ty Gibbs thing, it was like literally his first career race at the time, Xfinity Series. Now they call it O'Reilly Series. He comes in. He's kind of, he was known because he's Joe Gibbs' grandson, but you didn't know much about him. And I think it was 55 or 60-1, somewhere in that range. Bet on him. He goes out and wins. So immediately it's like, okay, this is my guy, right? And then throughout the years, he's made me quite a bit of money until he's got to the Cup Series, and that's sort of slowed down now. But that's what really attracted me to a guy like that. Hocevar, it's just the swag, like the swagger he's got. Like, you look at the thumbnail. Like, he's just a cool dude. He's got Chili's as a sponsor. They have the
casino sponsors him.
Exactly. I mean, look at those sunglasses. Like, he's got the bow tie, right?
Big tuxedo.
So part of the Chili's deal is the Dente margarita or whatever. So he's always showing up in the cowboy hat, and then the Dale Earnhardt truck thing. Like, dude is just bringing it. So I'm attracted to that. Rod, not so much.
Now, Cody, in the world of NASCAR, is it the same as in other forms of racing where the spoiled rich kids are called pay drivers and everyone treats them differently because they're there, but not because of their merit, but because their granddad has a bunch of money?
You do get that. Silver spoon is often the reference that's given to them. So we have a couple of those. Ty Gibbs, yes, obviously grandpa's name's on the building, but his talent alone warrants him having that car. So a lot of people will apply it to him. I highly disagree with that. Austin Dillon is the grandson of Richard Childress, who was the Dale Earnhardt car owner. He's been a car owner for a long time. Him and his brother Ty, they often kind of get that treatment. Austin's wanted to 500 before. Not an overall super great driver, but certainly has gotten the opportunities because of who his grandpa is.
It seems like my take is it's like golf or tennis, where if you have access to cars early, you're going to be a better driver. And so likely,
that's one of the things about NASCAR is buying a basketball and going to the local court doesn't cost but $20 or if that, right?
Yeah.
But getting in a race car, NASCAR and racing just at the grassroots level is very, very expensive. So you almost have to start ahead. I mean, yes, there are guys that get opportunities that then sponsors leech onto them and help carry them along. But we get a lot. I mean, there's a guy driving the 35 car that his dad owns a ton of a big gas station chain out in Vegas area and has tons of money, and he gets the Monster sponsorship because that makes dad happy, and then they sell more Monster at the store. Like, you get those types of things, right? The guy who owns Ream, the air conditioning unit company or whatever, his nephew or his son, I think it is, runs in one of the series. Paul Menard ran for a long time, the son of John Menard, who owns the home improvement store. I mean, you do get a lot of those, yes.
But, makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah,
tires cost a lot of money. Tires,
no, it's not
certainly do.
It's not a cheap sport.
I watched a documentary on Lewis Hamilton, and he was they were talking about how he was beating these rich kids who had like 4 sets of tires with his like raggedy tires from the last weekend. Because
that's when you know the talented. That's how you know you got a talented kid like that, and then obviously, look what a guy like Lewis has done. That's where the talent really does shine through, and you do get those right where it's the story of. Denny Hamlin is a great example. He just lost his father this offseason, but they like mortgaged the house multiple times and gave literally everything to keep him going. And then he caught his big break, and now he's been in the Cup Series for 20 plus years. He's won 3 Daytona 500s. He was 5 laps away from winning the championship this past year. Like, they really did, sure, they had enough, but they gave everything they had to get him there, and he took advantage of it, and the talent really played through.
So you mentioned the head-to-head, the winning car number. That one's fun. What about the outrights? Who are the do we have a 400-1 that we can place and have a prayer?
Again, you can really bet on anybody because anybody can win this race. So
great.
There is that. This is one that our buddy Full Tank with Phil, he likes to throw out a shotgun unit, where it's basically you take a unit and you spray it like a shotgun, right? You pick 10 different drivers at long odds.
Great.
You have so that's an option, right? It's a lot like a first touchdown where you split up your unit, take a bunch of long shots, stuff like that. So Brad Keselowski, he's a guy that I love, 16-1. He has been in the sport forever. He's a champion. He's won everything there is to win except the Daytona 500, and he is extremely good at super speedway racing. He's actually won at Talladega. The only people who have won at Talladega more than him is Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's that good at similar style of track. Just as the Daytona 500 has been elusive for him, but 16-1, I think he's still a great value because he's got one coming, I feel like. Bubba Wallace at 22-1. He's another guy that I love. He's been really, really good, specifically in the Daytona 500. Also a Talladega winner, but in the 500 always finds himself in the mix at the end. Carson Hocevar, like we talked about, 35-1. That's my favorite bet. Like, if I was only placing one bet to win, Carson Hocevar is the guy. This is his year.
He does seem fun.
That's going to cash his over-win total for the season, which is at 0.5. All we need is one. He can do it in the first race, and we'll be good to go.
Now, I say anyone, but who is there someone like 125, 150, 200-1 that has that of those you like the best?
Okay, so let me pull them up here too, just to make sure I've got all the numbers right. Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
So
now we're talking.
So there's some guys like JJ Yaley, Austin Hill. Like, I probably wouldn't bet on these guys. You can get Allmendinger at 75-1. Maybe I need to find a better book. There's not great numbers here. Hold on, let's pull up 500. Where?
Wow, the Dinger 75-1.
The Dinger 75-1. Look, I talked about all his top finishes in a row, right? So that's great. Here we go. So 150-1 range.
I pulled up the Circa app. Let's see. We got
start at the bottom and go up. I'll tell you when.
Riley Herbst at
actually.
This looks like 1,000-1.
Yes, Riley Herbst is one of those silver spoon kids.
Sorry, 100-1.
He's the guy I was just referencing. His dad owns a bunch of the terrible Herbst gas stations. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So that's his dad, but he probably doesn't deserve the ride. Michael Jordan owns his car. Also, fun fact. But he's actually a pretty decent super speedway racer. So 100-1, I don't hate that. And winning the Daytona 500, I mean, a race like that would be just a crowning achievement for a guy like this. That's probably not going to stick around in the Cup Series.
Quick sidebar, Cody. What's as a NASCAR fan, are you happy or sad over the court transpirings between Michael Jordan and NASCAR?
Oh yeah, give us an update on that.
Very happy. So they went to court. I was surprised they ever got that far. I thought they would settle before they got there. A lot of stuff came out not in NASCAR's favor. I mean, court of public opinion, they were losing big time. They ended up settling. They actually fired. They had just named this guy last year the commissioner. It was the first ever commissioner. They fired him. He had some not great text messages that came out.
No.
But no, I was on the side of the teams. I think that, Michael Jordan coming into the sport is huge for the sport, and the thinking he brought was much different. NASCAR's kind of weird because it's a family-owned sport and has been for the 77 years it's been in existence. And so when you have a family that owns the sport and runs the sport, then you have the teams that race for it. Like we mentioned, it's a very expensive sport. Yes, having an NFL franchise is expensive, but the costs that go into race cars and everything that goes along with it, very expensive. They weren't quite getting their fair cut of things. So, but nobody had ever really challenged it because it was always, Bill France and Bill France Jr. ruled with an iron fist, and that's how it was going to be, and, good old boys type of thing. So it was good to bring in that fresh blood and change the look on things. NASCAR finally realized we're not going to win this and decided to settle, which it ended up being a good thing overall, I think, for everybody. And even for NASCAR, even though maybe they didn't feel like it was.
So essentially the teams are the teams are getting a much bigger. This was all over rev share, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's charters in the sport, there's 36 teams that are guaranteed every race. Like you're locked into the race. You don't have to worry about stuff like that because there are other cars. So like in the 500, there will be 47, 48 cars that attempt to get in, but only 41 will actually start the race. But these 36 are locked in, but the charters weren't permanent. They basically got renewed on an every couple year basis. And then NASCAR this past year, when it was up, said, okay, here it is on a Friday evening. You got to have this back to us by Monday. There's a bunch of language in there like, oh, you can't sue NASCAR, all sorts of stuff. And they were like, why would we not want to sue you? Wait a minute. And so they kind of, and so part of the agreement was evergreen charters, essentially, granting them a piece that they can now use to turn around and sell to somebody else if they want to get out of the sport. So sort of operating like franchises, basically. That was a huge part of it. The revenue split was definitely part of it. NASCAR just signed a couple $1 billion TV deal a couple of years ago. The teams felt like they weren't getting enough out of that. So,
well, it mirrors the way that like F1 I think operates, in that it also allows you to create a more lucrative entry point, so that if a new team wants to enter, all
Correct.
the teams get a piece of the pie when they're paying their entry fee.
Yep, and that's been a big part of it. Is now it's a set number. If they want to expand that number, obviously the teams are going to benefit from that. If somebody sells out, teams benefit. Like it just helps the teams, and honestly, I think it helps the stability of NASCAR as well. So maybe they didn't see it because of their view on it, but I think it was good for the sport, good for the teams. I really feel like it was a win-win.
If you haven't seen the press interview of Michael Jordan after the court was done and they decided to settle or whatever, it was a classic Michael Jordan.
Nobody loves to win like Michael Jordan loves to win.
Michael Jordan's having a year. Not only did he win that massive lawsuit, but I don't know if you saw, he declined to do any more of the NBC interviews. Apparently he was only contractually obligated for one, and they paid him like $40 million to be part of the NBC crew. He's the man. Michael Jordan is the man.
He is the
Give
man.
a fuck. All right, Cody, let's close it out. Do you have any futures for the championship of NASCAR?
Yeah, who are we taking this year, Cody?
Yes.
Title.
Well, Kramer, we're back. So 2 years ago was the Reddick thing. We called our shot on him. He goes out, he wins the regular season championship, which NASCAR has adjusted. We don't have to get into it, but they don't have playoffs anymore. Now they have sort of a playoff, but it's a different version. But so we were all on Reddick, has a great season, goes out, wins the regular season championship. So close. He made the Final Four. We were close. We didn't cash. We laid off last year. It was a horrible year for him, actually. But he's back this year. He's one of the cars that Michael Jordan owns. They win the lawsuit. They're rolling into this year. I think he's going to be good. 13-1 we're back up to on him. So, he dipped back. The odds dipped down last year. We laid off. Back in on Reddick at 13-1. Chase Briscoe's another guy I like at 11-1. He races for Joe Gibbs' team. If you want a long shot, look around. Long shots, right? We got two teams that were 60-1 or more in the Super Bowl. Indiana just won the college football.
It's the year of the long shots.
Nebraska's about to win the college basketball championship. I mean, it's the year of the long shots, friends. So 65-1. You can get Brad Keselowski. Yeah, I like it. He's a previous champion. He's now part of owns a team. And there's been some bumps in the road, but I feel like he could pull it off, especially in this reimagined championship format that NASCAR has.
Love it. Good stuff here. We got some championship outrights. We bullied Cody into green lighting the herps.
That's actually I like it. When we talked through it, I like it. That's going to be on our Daytona 500.
On it now that we talked about it 100-1, you're going to be kicking yourself.
Get it before it dips.
Terrible's gas station comes through with the Daytona 500. Man, a lot of fun. And a reminder, get in on the NASCAR Gambling Podcast contest. Again, sign up. Where's the what's the URL, Cody?
Yeah, sg.pn/NASCAR contest. Nice and simple. Again, all you're doing, picking somebody to win the Daytona 500. Just go look at the entry list, throw a dart. I've literally won money building a DFS lineup. I have my daughter draw names out of a hat. It can be that random at times. Go pick somebody, and you'll have a shot.
Follow him on X at NASCAR Gambling. Cody's over on Husker_Zeeb. Check out all his writing over on sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I'm sure he'll be chirping about the Pats and the Super Bowl. Can't wait for that.
I'll be on Old Fashioned Football tomorrow. That's SGPN show. We're going to be talking about why the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl.
I love it.
So,
good times as always. And tomorrow we got more college hoops coming up with Colby. And, of course, as always, smash that subscribe button. Hit us up on Spotify, trying to get to 2K by the Super Bowl of reviews, rating reviews, questions, comments, all good. And, of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean Second, the Money Green. He's Ryan.
I think what you meant to say, Sean, was one of the worst teams in history, New England Patriots, to win the Super Bowl.
Kramer, let it ride.
I'm wet. I want better fucking execution.